okay? So what we're going to do now is show a couple of differences in the snatch. Now, AJ doesn't know how to do the snatch. We've been working on the clean, and he's really good at it. So what we're going to do to start out with is we usually start with some type of PVC pipe, but a little broomstick doesn't hurt either, okay? So if you're looking at the bar has a couple of smooth rings usually on the outer side of the bar. So if I put this down here about to the middle, he's going to put his hands just outside what we call the snatch rings, okay? Thumb outside in a hook grip, and everything applies just as it did with the clean, okay? So the first thing that we teach in the part of a snatch, go ahead and get that grip for me, AJ. You too tired? You want some reps? All right, the first thing we teach is the final position. We kind of teach from behind to the beginning because they should know all the steps from the clean. So go ahead and get it above your head, okay? All right, when you're looking at this, there's a couple of things that you need to look at before you start with the overhead squat, and that's where we're about to go to, is the overhead squat. The first couple of things that you look at is from the side. The side view, it ought to be, his elbows ought to be just behind his ears, and the bar ought to be about 6 to 8 inches above his head. If it's higher, then go ahead and get your grip inside a little bit. Okay? As he gets his grip inside more, which young athletes will try to do this because of their lower back problems, and it's really weak. See, that's really high, so that raises his center of gravity up to a position where he probably won't be in a good position when he gets into an overhead squat. All right, get that grip back out a little bit more. So it's going to lower as he widens his grip, and I try to enforce the wider my grip, the easier it's going to be on an overhead squat. So that's where we usually start out with the snatch. Elbows are going to be nice and tight, nice and flexed out. And what we want to do, he's got it with his left arm, but he doesn't have it with his right. He wants to try to rotate that shoulder around to lock it out. If he rotates and tries to point the inside of his elbow out towards the front of his, pointing towards his eyeballs or away from himself, if he tries to rotate, that locks his shoulder girdle in. If not, he compromises his position. So all we're going to do is work on the balance here, and here's how we do it. We just use a little spotter here for him to lean back on if he needs it, and he's going to get down in a nice low overhead squat position, okay? Heels don't come off the ground. Now once we get him in this position, we want to make sure that he's correct. High chest, and push that bar back just a tad. He's having a little problem with that. It's tough being in that position. And that's the position that we want to be in right there. All right, stand back up. Very good. Good, AJ. Give me a couple more. Just back down. Give me a pause. They want to be comfortable. That's much better than it was. They want to be comfortable in that position because that's the squat snatch right there. Okay? If they can't do that, you have a spotter back here. Go ahead and lean back on me, and I'll show them how to go ahead and lean back. Lean back. There you go. If they're having problems with their glute ham chain, then this is a position that we want to keep them in because he's leaning on me a little bit. Go ahead and stand up with it. He's leaning on me. I'm just going to spot him just like this, okay? All right? That's the overhead squat.